Hi everyone, and welcome to Radiation Safety Training. There are many topics that we will go over in this training, and the first will be basic regulatory information that is pertinent to you. Training can be boring and tedious, but there are legitimate reasons why you need to take this. First, training can provide you with basic tools to work with sources of radiation safely because it is a hazardous material that can harm you and others. It also is required in the regulations that we provide the training to all radiation workers, and the regs also require you as a radiation worker to complete the training, so you have to do it. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or NRC, is the regulatory body that governs use of radioactive materials. In Missouri, we're actually a non-agreement state, so we are directly regulated by the federal government, or the NRC, for RAM use, not the state government. We don't expect everyone to know the regulations. However, you should be familiar with the main ones that are applicable to you as a radiation worker, and these include 10 CFR 19 and 10 CFR 20. 10 CFR 19 lays out your rights as an occupational radiation worker, and it also details some information that the MU Radiation Safety Program must comply with. In 10 CFR 20, it sets your annual dose limits as a radiation worker, and it also covers things like how to handle RAM safely and what are the requirements for handling RAM. Part of these regulations in 10 CFR 19 and 20 is the NRC Form 3. This form, which you can see on your screen, is required to be posted in radiation spaces. It covers information about the NRC and its responsibilities, your responsibilities as a radiation worker, and instructions to you on how to report safety concerns and violations of NRC rules. We encourage everyone to read through the NRC Form 3 at least once during your time as a radiation worker. Since these forms are required to be posted in radiation spaces, the radiation safety staff do verify that they are posted in the appropriate locations during radiation safety inspections. There are many different roles within the radiation safety program, so we'll touch base briefly on each of these roles, what they mean, and what their responsibilities are. So first off, we have the RSO, or Radiation Safety Officer, and they are the individual that's given authority to implement and enforce the radiation safety program. The next group of people are the Radiation Safety Staff, or RSS, and they support the RSO by implementing the program, and you'll probably be interacting with members of the RSS the most, occasionally with the RSO, but mostly with the staff. The next group of people are the Radiation Safety Committee, or the RSC, and they essentially act as a local NRC with authority to implement any corrective actions or program changes. Then on the right-hand side, you have authorized users, or AUs, who have a medical regulatory definition. So they're technically usually a physician or someone similar who is approved to oversee medical human uses in RAM. The nexus are permitted individuals, or PIs, and these people are, they typically apply to receive a RAM permit and are ultimately responsible for any actions conducted under that RAM permit. And that includes all of the radiation workers and their actions as well, that are for those individuals that are listed under that RAM permit. Then you have the radiation workers, which are all of you. You're trained individuals who eventually will be able to handle RAM. And then you have ancillary workers. So think of these as people such as campus facilities or custodians who may briefly interact or have access to your labs for certain reasons. And then there's also other workers in your lab who may have access to your approved radiation spaces, but not necessarily be handling RAM in those spaces. So they need to be aware of the hazards within that lab. The NRC promotes the concept of safety culture when using RAM. We won't go too in-depth on this today, but there are different facets of safety culture, and the NRC has some published examples on their website on how to apply the concept if you're interested in learning more about it. But basically, safety culture is emphasizing safety above all else. At MU, we want to create a positive safety culture, so workers such as yourself feel safe to do things like report unsafe conditions without the fear of retaliation. You may not go to the EHS website often, but there really are a lot of great resources on there to help you without having to reach someone directly within radiation safety staff or within environmental health and safety. One of the main parts of the EHS website that you may interact with is the Radiation Safety Manual. We're required to have a radiation safety manual by the NRC, and it lays out all the requirements to use RAM that both you and us as the radiation safety staff have to follow and implement. It's a great resource and everybody should read through it at least once. We also have some other popular web pages such as the Isotope Datasheet, which covers facts such as detection efficiencies for common radionuclides used at Mizzou. We also have the isotope decay calculator, which allows you to input the isotope and activity and then calculate how much activity is left after decay. So you can use your phone to scan the QR codes on your screen and they'll take you directly to the links.